So Ronnie, 2 wins, just 1 frame drop. Nice way to get into the tournament.
Yeah, I was surprised, yesterday, this Boyko, he has a good future in the game. You can just tell by his technique, good temperament. So it was a tough opener. I know it's 5-0, but could have been a lot closer. He could have nicked a few frames and been a different match. And today was completely the same. He was tough, very good technique. I knew he was going to pot a lot of certain balls. He gets good lines on the shot, very good temperament. Fancied the job. So I knew I had to play well today, but the conditions were so hard. Probably the hardest conditions I've ever had to play. And the balls won't open up. You can't screw back. The white just runs on forever. The cushions are bouncing. It's just got, that's tough conditions. If they want to see some good snooker this week, I'd suggest they change the cloth every day because it's so damp and virtually impossible to move the white around or open the balls up.
Well, we still did see a 1-2-8, and we saw some really good snooker even in those conditions. What parts of your game are you really feeling at the moment? Are there other places where you think there's still a bit of rust?
No, I feel like I'm curing as well as I've done since maybe 2012. The last time I hit the ball this well was probably that long ago. I played well in 16, 17, 18, 19, some good, it's a good decade really. But the last 3 years was pretty awful, and I know I had some wins, but was really struggling with just ball striking, But at the moment, I feel like I'm hitting the ball so pure, so clean. In practice, I just feel like sometimes I'm hitting it so well, I kind of get a bit bored because I just think, well, what's the point of playing? Because I'm just hitting it so good. But that's just that for me. That's just a nice feeling, It's like to have total control over what I'm doing and feel like I have a lot of confidence inside me, It's just, just got to try and convert it into a few victories. But I take just cueing well and just maybe for quarter semi-final. If I get a win, great. But I'd much rather feel how I'm feeling now and just be competing. Maybe not win some tournaments than feeling awful and winning tournaments, So I'll take this all day long,
Yeah, can you pinpoint the moment when that feeling came back? We obviously saw you struggling a bit in Sheffield, even though you got to the semi-finals.
I was awful for 3 years, I just couldn't tell everyone because everyone thought I was, be banging on about it. So I had to keep it under wraps and just struggle with it, But I was in Dubai, maybe May, June. I just started hitting the ball and tried a couple of little things different. And I just found I was getting where I needed to be on the ball, and I was kind of started to feel, like quite easy, again, and just had to keep it going, and I've had to tweak a couple of things along the way, but basically I feel all right on the shot, and then I'm able to, play certain shots, soft, medium, slice through the ball, cut through the ball, loads of topspin, punching the ball. It's like all my shots feel like they're coming back, and I just feel like I'm capable of playing any shot I need to play,
We saw Sonny Akanji working till the early hours on your tip the other night as well. Seems like that's a good relationship as well, though, and that you're certainly doing good work for Sonny's business as well. But it seems to be working out for you too.
Yeah, no, he's making a lot of cues for a lot of the pros, he's good at what he does, and I'm happy to be enjoying my game. Have a cue that I'm happy with, but more importantly, it's how do I feel? My cueing okay, great. That's the most important thing.
Steve Maguire next. You have a good record with him, but you haven't actually played him for a while. How do you feel that game could go?
Well, it's going to be tough. He's a real good competitor. I know he won a tournament early in the season. I feel like he's probably made a real conscious effort to try and put some work in, get his game back to where he knows he's capable of being. So I know it's going to be a tough game. But for me, I'm just happy that I've got here, and I feel like I've knocked the rust off. So now I feel like the tournament after and the Golden Ball in Saudi and UK Championships. If it won't be because of rustiness that I don't do well, just because the other guy played better than me. So that's a nice feeling. 7 weeks off was quite long, seeing everyone playing well. I've got to go back and try and get up to speed with these guys. But I was. I've won a couple of matches, so I feel like I'm back into it a little bit now,
And final question, the Chinese fans clearly love you here. They've had a tough choice the last 2 nights. You were playing at the same time as Ding last night, same time as Jing Tong tonight. How exciting would it be to play one of them two in that arena this week?
Yeah, I'd like to play anyone, you know, like especially Ding. You know, he's like the guy. I said he was the first top Chinese snooker player. You know, and he's done it for so long. Obviously, Zhao, world champion. So yeah, to play either one of those two in this tournament would be great. Even playing the guy I played tonight, you know, the fans were obviously getting behind him because he's Chinese, home player. But you know, we both had some nice support out there. And yeah, no, listen, I just think I've been playing 33 years now on the main tour. You know, I think, you know, for any snooker fan around the world, you know, I'm always going to have a good support because, you know, how I've played over the years, and I'm really grateful for that. You know, I feel like that's probably been the best thing about my career is that I've had such good support from the fans. So it means that I obviously play the game the way people like to watch it. You know, they want to be entertained. They want to go away watching something, kind of go, oh, I feel, you know, I got something from that. I don't know what it is they get from it when they watch me play, but if it makes them feel good about themselves, you know, that means I feel good. You know, maybe it's a bit like when Tiger Woods used to play golf, a bit like when Federer played tennis, Messi plays football. People seem to get great enjoyment for it. So, you know, I'm happy to be that guy, you know.
Yeah, and I think everybody's delighted to see you back and enjoying your snooker again. So best of luck for the rest of the week.
Thank you. Cheers.